Welcome back to Learning Lane. Borders are supposed to separate nations, but in some parts of the world, borders are anything but simple. Imagine living in a house that belongs to two countries at once, or a street where one side is one nation and the other side is another. Today on Learning Lane, we're exploring the most unusual borders in the world divided by streets, islands, rivers, and even buildings. Section 1, Baarle-Hertog and Baarle-Nassau, Belgium, Netherlands. Our first stop is the town of Baarle, which is split between Belgium and the Netherlands. On the Dutch side, it's called Baarle-Nassau. On the Belgian side, Baarle-Hertog. Sounds normal, right? But here's the twist. This town is made up of dozens of tiny enclaves. In fact, some Belgian houses are surrounded entirely by Dutch territory, and even crazier, the border sometimes runs right through buildings. Restaurants and shops here have two different addresses, depending on which side of the border your front door is on. You're either Belgian or Dutch. During COVID lockdowns, some cafes literally kept one half closed and the other half open, depending on which country's rules applied. Talk about complicated. Section 2, Derby Line, USA and Stanstead, Canada. Next up, Derby Line in Vermont, USA and Stanstead in Quebec, Canada. These towns share one of the strangest buildings in the world, the Haskell Free Library and Opera House. Here's the catch. The library sits in both countries at once. The entrance is in the United States, but the books are in Canada. Even the reading room has a line on the floor marking the border. In fact, the opera stage is in Canada while most of the audience seats are in the United States. Visitors can legally cross the border inside. This building, no passport needed, just a good book. Section 3, Diomede Islands, in Russia, USA. Now let's head to the Bering Strait, where two islands sit just a few kilometers apart. On one side, Big Diomede belongs to Russia. On the other side, Little Diomede belongs to the United States. The distance between them is just 3.8 kilometers. But here's the twist, the international date line runs between the islands. That means Russia's Big Diomede is almost a full day ahead of Little Diomede. They call them Tomorrow Island and Yesterday Island. So if you stand on one island and look across, you're literally staring into the future. Section 4, Bir Tawil, Egypt, Sudan, no man's land. And borders can also leave behind strange gaps. Bir Tawil is a 2060 square kilometer piece of land between Egypt and Sudan. But here's the weird thing, neither country wants it. Because of old colonial border disputes, both countries claim another area nearby, but not Bir Tawil. As a result, it's considered terra nullius, no man's land. Adventurers sometimes claim it as their kingdom, but internationally, no country officially owns it. Section 5, Mount Everest, Nepal, China. Borders can even run across the highest point on Earth. Mount Everest, standing at 8,849 meters, sits right on the border between Nepal and China's Tibet Autonomous Region. The summit is shared by both nations. Climbers from Nepal approach through the south side, while climbers from Tibet go through the north. So when you reach the top, you're standing in two countries at once on the roof of the world. Section 6, Cyprus, divided capital, Nicosia. Not all unusual borders are peaceful. The city of Nicosia in Cyprus is the last divided capital in Europe. A United Nations buffer zone runs right through the heart of the city, separating the Republic of Cyprus in the south and the Turkish-controlled north. Some streets are cut in half by checkpoints, where residents cross from one side to the other with passports. Imagine living in a capital city where half belongs to one nation and half to another. Section 7, more quirky borders, quick fire round, and there are plenty more unusual borders worth mentioning. Kazungula Quadripoint in southern Africa, where Zambia, Zimbabwe, Botswana, and Namibia almost meet at one spot. Lake Constance in Europe, shared by Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, but with no official borders drawn in the water. Klein-Walsertal Valley in Austria, which can only be accessed by road through Germany. Each one proves that borders can be stranger than fiction. So whether it's towns divided by streets, islands split by time, or buildings that belong to two countries, the world's borders are full of surprises. Which of these unusual borders fascinated you the most? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing stories from around the world. You've been watching Learning Lane. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.